Happily married women and women who have been married for a long time to great husbands are still warning younger women to not get married.
Happily married women sometimes come online to advise single women not to get married. They tell you, I'm married to a good man, but then I will not advise women to get married. They usually say it. So Tito came online to talk about how even women that are married to a good man, women are married to good men, women are married or happily married or they're enjoying their marriage or they feel like they don't really have much issues going on, they still do not recommend marriage to single women. Let me show you all the video.
Married women and women who have been married for a long time to great husbands are still warning younger women to not get married. And that is because marriage is a contract of labor for women. No matter how great of a husband he is, that woman is still going to have to sacrifice, compromise, and do labor, whether that's physical labor, emotional labor, or mental labor in order to sustain that marriage. Think about if a woman wanted to move across the country for no rhyme or reason, just because as a little girl, she just always wanted to live in a certain city. And she goes to her husband and says, I want to live in LA just because. 9 times out of 10, that husband is not going to be willing to uproot his life and change his job just because his wife wants to fulfill her dream. Compromise, sacrifice. Now, she's not going to be able to fulfill that dream because she is married. And that's just one of the examples of, I think, why a lot of women are warning against marriage.
So the thing is there anything wrong with the things that she said in that video? Because this got a lot of men pissed off. Like, men also make sacrifices. Why do women usually feel like they're the only ones that make sacrifice in marriage? Men also put in a lot of work in the marriage. Why does it always feel like it is only women that are supposed to put in a lot of work in marriage and all of that? Let me show you some reaction. I'd like to know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. Are you happily married? Are you enjoying your marriage? Are you married to a good man? Would you still recommend marriage for younger women or single women that are aspiring to get married? Let's have this conversation down in the comment section while we watch these issues together, and I'll share my own opinion at the end of the video.
Happily married women and women who have been married for a long time to great husbands are still warning younger women to not get married. And that is because marriage is a contract of our warning against marriage.
And what do you think a man be doing? He has to sacrifice his life too. I'm tired of these old miserable assholes coming on the internet and try to preach to the young women all this weird bullshit. Yes, of course, marriage is a contract and it's built off of relations. Not that love bullshit, because if you ask somebody what is love, they don't even know what the definition of love is. But they see it on TV and they want to emulate that. To have a successful relationship or even a successful marriage, you both have to compromise and understand each other. Some of these women are just outright selfish. I'm not going to listen to a middle-aged woman that's not married. That shit just gives bitter old woman vibes. And that's the shit that's ruining our black community, because our black community is currently in shambles. Because you got these old ass, bitter assholes coming online telling our young women, oh, you don't need a man, you don't need this, blah, blah, blah. Listen, at the end of the day, you can do whatever the want. But whenever you're married and you're in a relationship, it's a 50-50 thing. Both of you guys are going to have to compromise, and both of you guys are going to have to come together to make some of the best decisions that you're probably ever going to make in your young life. You're going to go up to your husband and say, hey, I want to uproot everything that we have going on just to move to California, because it used to be a dream of hers whenever she was younger. Fam, what are you talking about? Of course the man is not just going to get up just because you want to go over there and live out a dream. Or I would recommend is taking a vacation to that city or that town to see, hey, is this the place I want to be at? Can I afford it? Because there's been a lot of videos of women doing that, going to California, New York, or wherever they want to go to, and having to come back to their hometown single without a man because they wanted to go do some shit that they were not prepared for. It didn't work out, and now they have to move back, and now they feel a lot bitter about the situation. Honestly, you could go on TikTok and look at the videos of the women who had to come back single, miserable, and divorced. Like, come on, fam.
Emotional labor or mental labor in order to sustain that marriage. Think about if a woman wanted to move across the country.
Club, no rhyme or reason. Like you hear yourself like no rhyme or reason you want to move to LA. Well, I know the reason. She wants to go out there to leave him. She wants to leave him for another man, essentially. She's trying to make it seem like it's not that cut and dry. Like I want to go out there because as a little girl. No, as a teenager, a young adult, you want to go out there. You want to go out there as a little girl. You didn't know the concept of LA and California. As a young teenager, as a young adult, you know the concept of LA and California. You want to be with a celebrity. And you want me, and you basically want me to sponsor you leaving me, essentially. Why would a man sign up for that? And it's not like we call her bitter, we call her a bunch of things. But why would a man sign up for a woman to leave him? And he'll work with her to leave him. That's insane.
Happily married women and women who have been married for a long time to great husbands are still warning younger women to not get married.
A tired old conversation, but I just have to comment on it because there's not one thing that made sense in that video. I have to even question if that woman is married. First and foremost, I've been married for almost 12 years now. I never tell young men and young women not to get married. I always let them know that marriage comes with challenges. It's not some you get married and you live happily ever after type thing. It comes with challenges. Both people have to make sacrifices. Both people have to compromise. Both people have to be considerate to the person that they're with. Both people have to put in work in that marriage. Your marriage requires daily maintenance. When she said marriage is a contract of labor for women, what do you think it is for a man? It just blows my mind because it's like, do some of y'all women like her, do you think that you're supposed to get married and not have to do anything? Like the man is just supposed to take care of all your needs and you don't have to lift a finger to do anything? Most marriages, in the way they're structured, you either have, the man that's being the sole provider, taking care of everything financially. You have a woman in the house that's taking care of the house. It works for some people, doesn't work for others. But it's different jobs, but the jobs are equal. They're both needed. The best way to structure it, in my opinion, is if you're both working, then you both take care of the house, you both take care of the kids. A recipe for disaster is where you have two people both working, but then only one person is taking care of the home and taking care of the kids. That's not going to work. My point is, no matter how it's structured, everybody has to do something. Everybody is working. Everybody is putting in work. Nobody should be sitting around doing nothing. And then that last part, the example she used about if a woman had a dream of moving to LA and she went to her husband and was like, I want to move to LA just because, and he didn't want to do it. Why would he? Why would he leave his job? Why would he uproot his family and go away from his family and your family and everybody that you guys know just so you can live out a dream? If that was truly your dream, why didn't you do that before you got married? Why would you wait until you got married, where now you have to take somebody else's feelings into consideration to go and try to live out this dream? That doesn't even make any sense. That's just backwards. You have to do things that make sense when you're married. If a woman wanted to move because she got a new job, or the man wanted to move because he got a new job, and this job is going to provide them with more money, which is going to help them, take care of their family in a better way, give them a better quality of life. That makes sense. But just to move just because, that's stupid. The last thing I want to say is, I don't really think women who are happily married are telling young women not to get married. If you are happily married to a good man, like this person said in the beginning, why would you have these negative things to say about marriage? You're not living that. You're not experiencing that. Why would you tell somebody that something is negative and something is terrible when you're not experiencing that yourself? That to me doesn't make any sense.
Okay, I usually see videos of happily married women that are married to good men, women that they're enjoying their marriages. They don't have these difficulties that we see everywhere. I usually see videos of them saying, even though I'm married to a good man, I would not still recommend marriage, or I would not still advise women to get married. And I feel like they're actually saying this because of the expectation women have when it comes to marriage. Women kind of have this expectation, oh, you're going to be happily ever after, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Why men are entering marriage with different reasons. Women are entering marriage with friendship, companionship, closeness, all those kind of things, right? Men are entering it. What can you do for me? What can you do for me? If you cannot do anything for a man, he will not marry you. Okay. So women are like, I feel like he has the potential to do something for me in the future. They can still marry you, even if currently you're not doing anything for them. A woman will still marry you with potential, right? So I kind of get it when women that are happy in their relationship or happily married are saying that women should not get married. I feel like it's because of the expectation most women have when they get married to a man. They expect a lot of things. And so when you not get married and you're married to somebody probably is not a good man, or it's just there, you start regretting your decision. They say men make sacrifices as well in a relationship or in marriages, but let's be frank, women make more sacrifices in relationships, sacrifice their body, their life, everything. In fact, their family. Most women will move across countries just to go be with their husband, right? And even if man makes sacrifices, cannot be compared to the sacrifice that a woman make to make that relationship work. Yeah, these men are saying that, yeah, two people have to put in the work. Yes, that is what makes marriage work. Two people have to put in the work. But women that are complaining about marriages shows that it's only one person that is putting in work. The other person is expecting the other person to do everything, right? And I feel like once a man feel like I provide financially, once I feel like I provide financially, you are supposed to do everything for me in the house. And I feel like that is the beginning of the end of the marriage. Because if you feel like all you need to do is provide financially, providing for your woman requires a lot. It is not just you going to work and dropping every money that she needs for you or for her or whatever. You're supposed to provide in every aspect of the relationship. So if you're only providing financially and you feel like you're doing your part as a man, you have a problem. So I feel like most men that feel like, oh, I'm doing my part as a man, I am providing financially. You as a woman, you should do everything. So if you look at this provision financially and look at what the woman is doing just because a man is providing financially, with a lot of things she has to do, a lot of sacrifices she has to make. In fact, most women do not even pursue their dream or their career anymore once they are married. Once a woman starts getting pregnant, that is the end. Before she will get her life back again, maybe 5, 10 years later, she can start getting her life back. We see women come out in 15 years later or 15 years of marriage and telling us how they've messed up the whole 15 years of their life. They didn't have any money. Some 20 years. They've actually put in the whole work or they've actually sacrificed everything for the man. The man is there gathering enough for himself, while the woman is just there being a woman in the house because a man is providing. Women are coming to tell us how they regret being stay-at-home mom, traditional mom, traditional wife, and all of that, just because they chose to be with a man that provide and they cannot do anything because all they feel like they need to do once a man is providing for me, I have to, do everything I'm supposed to do as a woman. Marriage is mostly advertised to women. And the way they advertise the marriage to women is that is your value. Just like the video we did the other day, the woman telling her daughter that you have no value if you don't have a man. That is how they advertise marriage to women. Some people tell you you're going to be happy once you're married. You're going to make your husband your best friend. You're going to be valuable as a woman. You're not going to be lonely anymore. You have somebody to talk to. The way they advertise marriage to women, that is not what they get when they get married to a man. That is why most time it's difficult for a woman to understand what she's going through because she feels like she's the problem because of the way they advertise the whole thing. But when it comes to men, I feel like they don't even advertise marriage to men. They only advertise marriage to men when they feel like you need somebody to be in the house to cook for you, to clean for you, to service you in bed for free, right? That is when they advertise marriage to men, especially when the man is financially okay. They tell him you need a woman in your life, or probably they want him to have children. They tell you need a woman for her to make babies for you and all of that. That is how they advertise marriage for men, and that is why most of them get married, right? But women get married for different reasons. So when they get married to a man with that kind of expectation, they don't get that. They don't get it. Most of the time, they don't get it. That is why most women will not advise women to get married. Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mariah David, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.